A new patient lay in the hospital bed, his pulse erratic, sometimes racing and sometimes slow. He was drenched in sweat, unable to find comfort. He tossed and turned, sat up, and took deep breaths. His skin was as yellow as turmeric, his eyes sunken, and his body weak. Throughout the night he struggled, but by morning he found some relief and fell asleep. Some of his relatives came to visit him. They sat for a little while, and then left. The doctors had little hope, diagnosing him with a severe heart condition called coronary thrombosis. When he woke up, he had a dull pain in his entire body, but he did not feel it much due to his weakness. He was sure that his death wasn't far away. Not today, but tomorrow he would definitely die. He was 32 years old, and his life had been full of hardships. Orphaned as a child, he had grown up working in a factory, earning a meager wage. In the evening, he received more treatments, and his oxygen was removed. He began to feel better and started to look around to see where he was. He was in a large ward with many other patients. Nearby, a young boy tucked in a blanket was eagerly looking at him.
Assalamu alaikum.
The young boy said warmly.
Wa alaikum assalam,
He replied.
How are you feeling now?
Asked the boy.
I am feeling much better now.
The patient answered. The boy's face lit up even more.
What's your name?
My name? My name is Akbar.
My name is Manzoor.
They chatted briefly before Manzoor called over a nurse, and they exchanged friendly words. Manzoor was interested in every patient in the ward, knowing who was well and who was not. He made friends with the nurses, doctors, and even the janitors. His cheerful demeanor and innocent face made everyone love him. Due to his heart condition, Akbar was often irritable, but Manzoor's constant chatter and innocent questions began to lift his spirits. Manzoor asked Akbar about his family.
Do you have any siblings?
I am an only child.
Akbar replied.
Your heart doesn't hurt now, does it? You will get better soon. Drink more milk.
As days passed, Manzoor continued to befriend everyone in the ward. Akbar came to know that Manzoor's lower torso was paralyzed, the result of an illness he contracted after bathing in cold water. He was the only son of his parents. The doctors knew that the paralyzed part of his body would never recover, but they kept treating him to see if there was still some hope. Despite all this, Manzoor always remained cheerful. One night, Akbar suffered from another heart attack. This time, it was more painful and dangerous than the first one, but thinking of Manzoor's resilience, he endured it with patience. The doctors were very surprised to see that he survived. In the morning, Manzoor greeted him with a cheerful,
Assalamu alaikum.
Akbar felt his spirits lift.
Wa alaikum assalam. Did you pray for me this time?
Akbar asked. Manzoor replied.
Nope.
Akbar was surprised.
Why?
I don't pray every day. I prayed once, and I knew you'd be fine.
Manzoor replied confidently. Akbar asked, trying to tease him a little.
You keep telling others that they will be fine. Why don't you get well and go home yourself?
Manzoor thought for a while.
I'll be fine too. The doctor told me that you will start walking in a month. Look, I can move up and down now.
He tried to slide up and down in the blanket. Akbar immediately said,
Wow, Manzoor, amazing. What's a month? It will pass like this.
And he snapped his fingers. More than a month passed. Akbar's condition kept improving. The doctors were amazed at his recovery. Akbar knew that it was Manzoor's friendship and cheerfulness that had saved him. Their bond grew stronger, and Manzoor's positivity was infectious. However, one day the doctors told Manzoor's father to take him home, as there was no further treatment they could offer. Manzoor was told that from now on, he would be treated at home instead of the hospital, and that he would get better soon. But Manzoor was devastated. He didn't want to leave the hospital. Akbar asked him why he wanted to stay. With tears in his eyes, Manzoor said,
I'll be all alone there. Papa goes to the shop, Mama goes to the neighbors to sew clothes. Who will I play with there? Who will I talk to?
Akbar said with great love.
It's just for a few days. Then you will be able to play outside with your friends and go to school.
But I don't want to leave. I have so many friends here.
Manzoor covered his face with a blanket and began to weep. That evening, Akbar was informed that he would be discharged the next morning. Manzoor was very happy when he heard the news. He told every nurse, every patient, and every worker that Akbar was well now and would leave tomorrow. Even at night, Manzoor kept talking to Akbar for a long time, full of happiness. Finally, he fell asleep. Akbar stayed awake and wondered when Manzoor would get better. Is there no medicine in the world that can make this lovely child healthy? He prayed from the bottom of his heart for his health. He felt very sad while thinking about Manzoor and their separation. He could not believe that he would leave in the morning. Akbar fell asleep while thinking. In the morning, Akbar woke up late. Nurses were walking briskly here and there in the ward. Turning around, he looked at Manzoor's bed. He saw it was empty. He almost shouted to a nurse who was passing by,
Where is Manzoor?
The nurse paused. After a moment, she replied in a pitying tone, Poor thing, he died at 5:30 in the morning. Akbar was so shocked to hear this that his heart started sinking. He thought he was having another heart attack, but he was wrong. He was fine. After a little while, he had to leave the hospital because the patient who replaced him had been admitted. Akbar was heartbroken. He had gained a new life thanks to Manzoor's friendship, but now he had to leave the hospital without his dear friend. The story of Akbar and Manzoor teaches us that even in our darkest moments, the light of friendship and the power of a positive spirit can lead us to incredible healing and strength. It reminds us that true resilience comes from the love and support we share with others, and that kindness can create miracles. In times of hardship, never underestimate the impact of a cheerful heart and a hopeful outlook. Embrace the connections you make, for they hold the power to transform lives and bring hope when it's needed most.